Hi guys, this is Olivia. Today we're going to learn how to compare and order fractions and decimals. Just to recall, what is fraction? In Korean, it's 분수, and decimal means 소수. Before we start, let's just learn how to read fractions in English. How do you read this fraction? There are three different ways to read this fraction. First one is 3/5. So you call this one 3 and this one as fifth. Second option is reading it by 3 out of 5. What you can also do is 3 over 5. Now let's get started. So let's just recall how we used the 0, 1/2, and 1 to compare fractions last time. For example, 3/20 is close to 0 because the numerator, what's the numerator? Numerator means 분자. So the numerator is much less than the denominator. What's denominator? Denominator was 분모. Good job. So if you look at the fraction 3/20, since the numerator is much less smaller than the denominator, 분자가 분모보다 매우 작기 때문에 it's closer to 0 than 1, right? But if we look at this number right here, which is 11/20, you can say that the numerator is around about the same as the half of the denominator, correct? So you can say that 11/20 is close to 1/2. All right? Let's try this one right here. Any fraction greater than 1 can be written as a mixed number. For example, we can use benchmarks on a number line to order the numbers such as 2/11, 2 and 3/8, 1 and 1/16. So if we look at the first fraction over here, you can say that 2/11 is close to 0. And if we look at this number, 2 and 3/8, since 3/8 is close to 1/2, but less than 1/2, which means, say we have a number line right here, 0, 1/2, and 1. 3/8 is close to 1/2, right? But now that we have 2 and 3/8, we can say that this fraction over here is close to 3 plus 1/2. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's closer to 2 plus 1/2. So it should be somewhere around here, right? And if we look at this number right here, 14/15, it's closer to 1. So it should be somewhere around here. Okay? So if we write down all the fractions over here on the number line, it's going to look like this. 이 숫자들을 다 수직선에 쓰면은 we have 2/11 right here, 14/15 right here, which is slightly less than 1. And then we have 1 plus 1 over 16, which is slightly bigger than 1. And then we'll have 14 over 9. And then we'll have 2 plus 3 over 8, which is slightly less than 2 plus 1.5. Okay, and then let's try to solve this one. Write these numbers in order from least to the greatest. How do we compare fractions and decimals? What we can do is we write an equivalent fractions with like denominator. For example, we change this decimal into fraction, which will be 75 over 100, right? Now what you can do is comparing these 4 fractions, which is 3 over 4. So we're going to compare these 4 fractions, correct? And if we look into these fractions, what you can realize is that they have the common denominator, which is 8. What I mean by that is if we multiply a certain number to the denominator, they can have the same number for denominator. For example, 7 over 8. We don't need to change anything for this. What about 9 over 8? We don't need to change anything either, right? But if we look at this fraction right here, 이 대분수를 같은 denominator, 같은 분모를 가진 분수로 바꾸려면, since this is 1 plus 1 over 4, you can say that's 5 over 4. And what you can do is you multiply 2 to both numerator and denominator, which will give us 10 over 8, right? We can do the same thing for the last one, which is 3 over 4. So you multiply 2 to each number, and it's going to give us 6 over 8. So now we have 7 over 8, 9 over 8, 10 over 8, and 6 over 8. So if we mark those numbers on a number line, it's gonna be like this. We have 6 over 8 right here, which is 0.75. And then we have 7 over 8. And then we got 9 over 8. And lastly, 10 over 8, which is 1 plus 1 over 4. So when you have to compare fractions and decimals, you change the decimals into fraction form and then find the common denominator. And then you're going to multiply the same number for both numerator and denominator to make the denominator into a common denominator. Okay, great job today.